Well, thank you very much for sitting with us, Conciliator, and making sure that this goes smoothly. My name is Alex. I obviously work for Your Home Property. We look after a number of properties across Australia, and I guess I come to you because we'd like to sort out a situation before having to head more seriously into a tribunal. Abby and Jamilah have been fantastic tenants of ours, but we're obviously having a little dispute over what's happening with the end of the tenancy. So I wanted to put it to you because I think you would potentially be able to work this out between us, and we can come to an agreement. Abby and Jamilah, I hope you feel the same way, and I really appreciate you making the time to meet with us and to have this matter heard. So basically, to put it all into perspective, we've been looking after this property for many, many years, and Abby and Jamilah have been renting this property for 3 years. And in that time, I have to say they've been absolutely stand-up tenants, so no issue. So thank you for looking after the property so well. And really, there's just been no issue at all. And I've given you all the evidence, you've got it in front of you. But on the 20th of January this year, we received notice from the girls that they would be vacating on the 22nd of February, so just over a month after that. The rent had been paid at that point up to the 15th of February. So obviously there's an extra week that was going to be on top of that rental payment. On the 15th of February, Abby dropped the keys to our office and left a message with the receptionist. I wasn't there, that they'd actually vacated the property a week early and that they were out. And as I said, they'd already paid until the 15th, so that was, I guess their belief was they were done. As a property manager, it was my job to then inspect the property the next day, which I did. And listen, the house was in genuinely good condition, but we have to go through with a fine-tooth comb. We are looking after someone's, biggest asset. So in doing so, we found some discrepancies. So we found indentations and small scratches on the timber floors. Now, whilst general wear and tear we accept, these were a little bit more than general wear and tear, we believe, and happy to have an independent arbitrator look at that. But these were quite serious. As part of Abby and Jamilah's tenancy agreement, they'd agreed to have the carpet steam cleaned when they left. The carpets were clearly not steam clean, they were dirty. Again, inside of their agreement, the lawns and gardens were meant to be looked after. When I went and looked, and I've got photos which I'll show you, the front lawn is overgrown, definitely had not been maintained. The garden was fairly wild, I think that'd be fair to say. Abby, I don't know if you agree, but that was part of the tenancy agreement, not looked after at all. And lastly, making sure that the property was clean, also in their agreement, and we found several boxes of rubbish that were in the backyard that were left there. It looked like a party. I don't know, but it was just a lot of rubbish. And again, I've got a photo of that there. So these were things that we had noticed that we believed that the tenants should be looking after. So when I went back to the office, I emailed Abby, I know you have that email, and Jamilah, and requested the following. I wanted the 1 week's rent, which I think we are owed, as per the notice period that which they had signed to. The floorboards to be polished, the carpets to be steam cleaned, the front lawn to be mown and looked after and maintained, and that rubbish to be removed from the backyard. Now, the response that I got was that Jamilah emailed me back and told me that she'd actually vacated the property 2 months earlier, which we weren't aware of. So she feels that she's not responsible for any of the care or the rent or the cleaning costs, I should say. And she says that her half of the bond should be refunded immediately. And I hadn't heard back from Abby, and now I've got Abby here with me, thankfully, so we can go through this. But as far as I'm concerned, I've been a property manager for many, many years. It's unacceptable, to ignore emails. I'm sorry, Abby, to say that, but you need to be responsible. Once you sign a tenancy agreement, that's what you agree to. And as far as Jamilah leaving, we weren't aware as the property agency that that's just gone on. So if you're going to do these sorts of arrangements, you need to let us know. So that's not our responsibility. So you and Jamilah need to work that out between yourselves. But as far as we're concerned, and we are acting on behalf of our client, our landlord, we would like the floorboard sanded and polished, and we've got a quote for that at $1,250. The carpet steam cleaned at a cost of $350. And by the way, these are suppliers that we use, and they do give a good price. We haven't gone for top price. This is just what we've obtained. And then also $120 for the mowing of the lawn and the removal of the rubbish. So I'm hopeful, Abby, that you've heard this and you understand that, it's part of the law when you sign a tenancy agreement that these are things that are expected of you. We do property inspections before you move in and afterwards, and if they are, different in quality, we have to address those, and that's why you pay a bond. So that's what we're looking for today, and I'm hoping that due to conciliation we can get this sorted. Thank you very much for your time.
Abby and Jamilah, I'd love to hear your position in this matter.
I think the first question I have is, why do I need to pay the rent when I wasn't living in the property for that week and we had vacated the property on the 15th?
Should I add to this?
Yes.
So, and you can look this up. There's a lot of information online that helps tenants understand the whole process of tenancy. But by law, when you sign a tenancy agreement and there's a date of an end date, that is the date that you pay the rent up to, regardless of whether you're living in the property or not. You chose to leave it a week early. Whilst I totally understand you were ready to go, unfortunately, by law, that rent is owed.
Sure. I also just really want to know about the quotes. Firstly, I didn't do the damage on the floor, so I don't understand why I have to pay.
Well, again, whilst I totally understand, and this happens a lot, you know, it's not always you who does the damage, but you might have had friends around, and you are responsible for anyone in that house, as it's not your own property. So any damage that we see, which has happened during your time of tenancy, actually is under your responsibility. So I do have sympathy, because sometimes, you know, you don't even notice that someone's done something, they've dropped something or scratched it with their high heels or whatever it is, but we are just looking after our landlord's best interest, and in this case, as you'll see by the photos, and I would hope the conciliator can have a look and see that is more than just general wear and tear, but that's what's responsible. And when it comes to quotes, and again, this is something you can take into consideration when you make your recommendations, but we're happy for you to find your own quotes if that's what you'd like to do for the jobs that we think need to be done. So sanding and polishing boards, steaming carpets, lawn mowing, rubbish. If you find quotes that are cheaper and to your liking, as long as they do the job and they're up to the standard that we require, we're more than happy with that.
And so then if I give you those receipts, that you guys pay for those and I will get my bond back?
That's right. So it'll come out of the bond, and then whatever's left over will come back to you. And in terms of breaking it up between you and Abby, between you and Jamilah, I know she wants less because she was there. Sorry, she wants more because she was there less. That's something that you'll need to decide for yourself. We will give you the money, and that will come back to both of you, and something for you to decide as friends.
If the property is then in good condition once all of the works are done, can we get our full bond back?
Well, no, you'll only get your full bond back if you pay for those jobs, and that's paid for by yourself. Then that full bond will come back to you. Yes, that's right. Yeah, okay. And we'll go and do a property inspection. I'm happy to do a property inspection with you, so that we can walk through it together and make sure that it's to everyone's liking. You know what? Hey, you can go and hire a steam cleaner if you'd like to. From I think they hire them out from service stations and things. You can do the job yourself as long as it's up to scratch. I don't know. We're happy with that. You can put that in your findings, but if you want to mow the lawn, you can do that as well. I don't know that you can sand and polish a floorboard. That's going to be a bit harder. But listen, we'd love it. We'd love this to end with a good result for everyone. I understand you don't want to pay, but I think you can probably see by the law, and I'm sure the conciliator is going to make that clear to you, that it's a position which we have to take as property managers.
Are you, I'll just step in there.
Yeah.
Abby and Jamilah, are you happy to do the works that are needed by either A, taking up Alex's quotes, or B, finding your own quotes?
Yes. Yeah. I'm happy to comply with your offer. I would like that rather than to take it to tribunal, so that would be fine.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much for your participation, both of you, all three of you, should I say, and Alex as well. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Mr. Conciliator, and thanks Abby and Jamilah for listening to me, and we really appreciate it, and hopefully we can get a good outcome.
Absolutely.
Cheers, guys.